Good day, my dear friends. So today we want to solve our next problem in our 75 days study plan, and let's just go ahead and click on that problem so that we can look at the problem statement and go ahead and solve it. Okay. So today's problem is titled "Can Place Flowers?" Right. So you have a long flower bed in which some of the plots are planted and some are not. However, flowers cannot be planted in adjacent plots, all right? So given an integer array flower bed containing zeros and ones, where 0 means empty and 1 means not empty, and an integer n, so n means the number of flowers that you need to plant. So return true if n new flowers can be planted in the flower bed without violating the no adjacent flowers rule, and false if otherwise, okay? Good. So what this means is, let's look at our examples. So we have a list here of plots, okay? And then we have the number of flowers that we need to plant. So what happens is we need, for each position we are at, for each plot, we look at the plot. If it's empty, then means that we can be able to plant a flower there, okay? So for example, at this place, so we need actually to check, because of this no adjacent flowers rule, it means that we cannot have like uh, two flowers planted next to each other. Okay, there has to be a zero. Like if we have a one, the next one should be a zero, and then we can have a one after that. Okay, so we cannot have two ones adjacent to each other. So that's what they mean by no adjacent flowers rule. So in order for us to enforce that rule or to observe that rule, we need to check three spots each time. So on each iteration through the list, we need to check three spots. So we first check the current value is zero, which is zero, but then if we are at the start of the garden, that means that the current plot, we do not have another plot before the current plot, then it means that that's fine. We can now be able to check the next plot. So we check the next plot to make sure that it's zero. So for example, let me give you an example, a good example where we can be able to plant. So for example, if we are at this particular position, and the center position, that's the second zero from left, we can see that if we look back, we can be able to see that there's a zero here. There's a zero here, and then if you look ahead, we can see that there's a zero here. And then we look at the current position, we can see that there's also a zero. That means that we can be able to plant a flower here without violating the no adjacent flowers rule. Okay, so that means that we'll put our flower here, and our flowers, all our flowers are gone. So that means that this we can return true because we can plant all our available flowers in this particular flower bed. All right. So for the next one, we can check now all the plots. Okay. So we have two flowers, and we have these plots. Okay. So we check the first item. Do we have a plot behind us? No, we don't. We don't. So the first item is a one. So automatically we cannot be able to plant a flower there. We check the next one. The current position, the current plot is a zero. Fine. That's so our rule number one is good, and then we check behind. We have a one, so that means that we cannot be able to plant a flower here uh, at this position. So we move to the next position. We check behind, yes. We check at the current position at zero, yes. We check at the next position, it's zero, yes. So we can be able to plant a flower there. And then we move, so one of our flowers is gone, then we are left with one extra flower. And then, so now we check at the second position. We check the current position, it's zero, fine. Our first rule is okay. We check back, fine. But we check ahead. In fact, if we check back, because we planted here the last flower, we cannot be able to plant another flower here. We same as this other position, we cannot be able to plant any flower there. So that means that we will plant one flower, but the other one we cannot be able to plant it, so we'll return false. Okay. So the way we solve this practically is we can use the 2-pointer method. So one pointer will keep track. We'll keep track of the current flower bed, and the other one will keep we'll keep the number of flowers that we've been able to plant. Okay. So again, let's just define our value. So n means the number of flowers that we need to plant, and then the flower bed is of course the list that we need to iterate to check. So we need another pointer to just, after we plant a flower, we increment that value. And then we need another value I to just keep track of the position that we are in the flower bed. Okay, good enough. So we can do count I is equals to 0, 0. So this is the same as doing count is equal to 0, and then on the next line doing I is equals to 0, right? So just a one liner is fine. And then we are going also to need the length of the flower bed. So we just do flower, okay, f len, just to make it shorter, will be the length of the flower bed. So fine. So let me just add a comment here. Right. So our next thing is to iterate. So we can use a while loop. So while our current position is less than the length of the flower bed, so sorry, f len. So that means that we have not reached the end of the flower bed. We can now start checking. Okay, so we need to check, like, the first thing we check is the current position. So we make sure that the current position is 0, that is empty. So we make sure that the current plot is empty. That means that the value at the current position is 0. So flower bed. So flower bed at the current position must be equal to 0, and then we check the value behind us. So and the value behind us. So for example, if we are here at this position, that means that we don't have a value behind us. So we need to take care of situations where we are at the beginning of the array or at the beginning of the list. So that means that we say I is keeping track of the position. Remember that is 0. That means that we are at the start. So this I is equals to 0. If we are at the start of the list, that means that this will evaluate to true, and then our next statement will not run. Otherwise, our next statement will run. That means that we will be able to check the value behind. That means that flower bed at position I minus 1, I minus 1 must be 0. So the value behind should be 0. Okay. Or, sorry, and so the value, okay, the current value should be 0, the value behind should be 0, or we should be at the start of the list. The next value, we need to check the value ahead, but first we need to check that we are at the end of, we are not at the end of the array or at the end of the list. So that means that the first thing that we need to do is check that I is equal to f len minus 1. Okay, so if this is true, then it means that our next statement will not run, will not evaluate, because it means that we will have reached the end of the list. So there's no need to check to check ahead. All right. Otherwise, if I is not equal to flen minus 1, it means that we have not yet arrived at the end of our array, meaning there's a value ahead of us, so we need to check that particular value and make sure that the value is 0. Okay, so the way we do that is flower bed at so I plus 1, that means the value in the next index, that must be 0. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. So we check behind if there is a value, we check at the current place, and then we check ahead if there is a value. Okay, fine. So once we do that, so if all our conditions are met, then it means that we can be able to plant a flower. So the way we plant a flower is just to replace the current value at I with a 1, and then to increment our count plus 1. So that means that this just means that we've been able to plant one flower. So like we said, count is keeping track of the number of flowers that we've been able to plant. Okay, so fine. So now, after planting the flowers, yeah, so we need some way to save on to make our solution efficient. So you can imagine if we had 2 flowers to plant, and then we plant all of them, and we still have space. So we don't need to keep iterating through the rest of the length of the flower bed, because we already planted all our flowers. So at that point we can just return true, because we already planted all our flowers. So the way we do that is we just do if count, so the number of flowers that we've planted is greater than or equal to the number of flowers that we were given. So n is here, then we just return true. Okay, and our function will stop at that. All right, and then after doing that, otherwise it means that we are not there yet. We have not planted all our flowers, so we can move to the next position by incrementing our tracker by 1, so that our system will our function our loop will run once again to make sure that we do all our checks. So it will keep on running until if we are not able to plant all the flowers, it will reach the end of the array, and then it will stop at that. Once it reaches the end, then it means that we can just return false, because it means that we still have some flowers. We have either we've planted some flowers and we have some remaining, and we have exhausted the space that we had, so we cannot be able to plant all our flowers in the said garden. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So we can go ahead and try to run our solution to just make sure that it's okay. So let's just run. Fine. So looks like our solution is working fine. We can submit it to see how we perform against other solutions. Right. So awesome. So we beat. So we beat 61% of users with Python in runtime, and then we beat 13.75%. Sorry, we beat 75.48% with memory. So we need now to do our space and time complexity as usual. So the time complexity of our solution is big O of n, because we will be iterating then n in this case is the length of the flower bed. N is not the same as the number of flowers that we've been given. n is actually the entire length of the flower bed, okay? So we've been able to iterate through since we are iterating through the entire flower bed, it means that our time complexity is linear with respect to the size of the input, okay? Input being the flower bed length. Fine? Is that fine? All right. So, and for our space complexity, if you have noticed, you look at our solution, we did not create any new array in the process. So that means that we've been able to solve our problem without without using up any extra space. And so that means that our space complexity is big O of 1. That means constant space, okay? So thank you so much for following today's video. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you like the video and subscribe so that we may reach more people and so that more people may benefit from the video. Thank you so much.